I recently heard something amazing that is manifestation is not spiritual. It should not be talked about, it should not be promoted. Who are you to want things in your life? And it's egoic, and preference is egoic. And we should just go back into our caves and meditate to achieve enlightenment because that should be the ultimate goal. Is there some truth to that? Or did you just come here to be the most abundant being and live the best version of your life? And what is the best version of your life? Is it complete detachment or is it being in the world? Which one is it? Let's find out. All right, I am so excited about this one. I am just excited to be back, honestly. This is my first video after a 10-day retreat. Every single year, I go into 10 days of isolation, meditation. It already originally started as Vipassana, 10 days of meditating for 10 hours. And it changed into a more feminine practice, that there's more creativity, there's more expression because, for example, practices like Vipassana, you're not allowed to write, there's no music, there's nothing, there's no joy, right? And I'm just happy to be here and sharing all the things that I've received and so many insights, and also just the practical aspect of it, of how do we incorporate that and how the traditions change. And this is what this video is about. This is why this was the first one that I'm recording, because it has everything to do with my experience, and it has everything to do with how these concepts shifted on a collective level. And this is what I want to share with you today. So I recently heard someone say, manifestation isn't spiritual. And you have all these big names giving all these empty promises like, yeah, this is what your life can be like, and you can achieve this, 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 and this is how you get it. And that's what they make money off of, right? And it's not so. And really, the original tradition is that you shouldn't want things and you should detach. And it's not about manifestation. And the original truth, right? It's that all desire is basically sin, right? And that it's not holy and it's of the ego, and you have to release that part of you. And then there's a concept of ego death. Let's talk about that, because when we say things, especially like, well, that's the original teaching, let's really go into what is original. If you visit ancient feminine temples, it's very different from the churches or the temples that were created in the time of patriarchy, which came later. The feminine temples show people dancing, colorful animals and birds, being one with nature, fun. A lot of the celebrations were, during the time where the feminine was actually allowed, right? And it was celebration and joy, creativity. Think of that, little children, that's the feminine energy. Women, when they're not on the go, but like expressive, chatty, just full of life, vibrant, right? That is our base. That is our foundation. And then patriarchy came in and said, we're not allowing fun anymore. And actually that's a sin. And you have no place to be. And it all has to be strict and by the book. And you're going to, if you behave in this way, then in the afterlife you will receive, joy and all these good things, but you have to postpone that. And so pleasure was canceled, right? Joy was canceled. We are coming into this place right now of coming into an equilibrium. The feminine is often detached from the physical world. She's out there and she's excited and creating, right? The masculine is detached from the spiritual world. It is too physical. And the combination of both is necessary for the human experience to be at its fullest, for our collective to really come into that state which was unavailable to us previously. And so when we talk about manifestation, there is truth to it's egoic. There is truth to it in the sense that, taking a breath in here because I want you to feel the difference. Feel the difference between a desire that you wanted to have, like, I want everyone to, applaud me and to say how amazing I am, and I want to accomplish that thing or get that job or have that family, have that status so that other people can see my worth, right? tune into the energy of that versus a desire from a place of, I'm just whole. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I don't even need to create anything. Like a plant, I'm looking at a tree right now. This is enough. This moment is enough. And from that place of enoughness, ooh, what do I really want? What would be really fun right now? Creating this project, sharing my life with someone, traveling to this location, being of service in this way. And there are desires, those that are coming from wholeness. Do you feel the difference? Do you feel the energy? It's not a need. That's egoic. That, detach from that. Understand that that's not going to bring you happiness. And also understand that the ancient traditions that people spoke about, people lived, their lifespan was a lot shorter than ours. Okay? And if we're talking about emotional intelligence, that's only developed like in their 30s for women, 40s for men, right? And a lot of it is egoic. Like a child's like, no, it's mine and I want this, right? This like cranky, grumpy, entitled kid. Yeah, desires coming from that. That's gonna make you miserable. Detach from that. Understand that you are not that. Come into your center first. But manifestation from this place of wholeness, from this place of whatever we want it because we believe that we'll be happier with it. That will make our lives better. But so many teachings of the manifestation, if you go through, a lot of people buy it because of the egoic, like, oh, here's how you get what you want, right? And their ego's like, yes. But what a lot of these things teach actually is, yeah, drop all of that. How do you feel whole and complete first? How do you feel as if it's already done? And from that place, you don't get excited like, oh my God, it happened. It's like, oh yeah, it's a natural step. What else do I want? From this place of wholeness, they sell manifestation. They sell, here's how you can get the thing. But what it really comes down to is centeredness and wholeness. And hey, I was totally the person when I started working with my teachers. I was like the worst person to work with. I would make a big deal out of it. I would bypass, my ego would bypass, because for me it was the other way. It's like, I don't want to feel the disappointment of not getting what I want. And so I would go into, yeah, well, it's desire is egoic. And if you're judging, if you're saying like, well, being homeless is worse than having a luxurious home, well, then you're full of it. Because that's judgment, that's ego. And my teachers went on explaining like, sweetheart, how about you just go with it? And how about you just, and I had so much resistance of creating this blueprint of what I really wanted, because I'm like, no, that's egoic. Well, really, it was covering the fear of, can I have what I want? And what does it look like if I really allow myself to have that? And this is what comes up for a lot of people who go into this. Well, no, manifestation is not spiritual, and that's not what the spiritual journey is about. You living your best life, you coming into this expansion, you being this just the happiest version of you. What can be more spiritual? And I don't remember whose quote it is, but I wish everyone could get everything they want and all the money and fame, to understand that that's not there. For some people, they learn how to manifest in a non-spiritual way, and then they're like, oh, I still feel empty. All right, this isn't my happiness. And then that gets them on another path and uncovering that. But another person's journey is really none of your business. My question is for you, because you're not here to judge someone else. Where are you at? And letting me know in the comments, by the way, what are you hearing and how open are you to dreaming, to allowing? Some things are so out there. I know I had a friend and they had just like these big dreams. When I would listen to it, I was like, oh God, because to me it felt unattainable. So it would be really triggering. And I would shut down with that, like, my own desires, because like, oh, I can't have that. And that's okay if you're there. What is the next step of your expansion? What is the next step of what if I can feel even better? And a great tool that I want to share with you guys before I end this video. We usually wait for shit to hit the fan for things to go wrong, to ask this question. And it's really, really important to ask this question in moments where you feel amazing. How can this get better? How can this be even better? Allowing yourselves in those moments of joy. And a part of you is probably programming from parents or caregivers or whatever. Who are you to ask that? Well, aren't you a brat? Right? The spoiled brat who just never has enough. But you're not supposed to have enough. Not from the ego, but from a place of centeredness and expansion. Yes, there's also the ego part, for whom it will never be enough. Even if you satisfy all these childhood needs that weren't satisfied, it's going to find more problems. It is never happy, and you're free when you understand that. It will never be happy. There's a part of you that is devoted to suffering. It is not you, but it is a part of you. It's part of the human experience. But you get to, from a place of centeredness, from a place of connection, ask, how can this get even better? And stretching that imagination, that muscle, okay? And from that place, you get yourself accustomed to the energies of joy, of bliss, of abundance, of I get to receive. And coming into that balance that I spoke of at the beginning, the feminine and the masculine energies, the doing and the being, the giving and the receiving. And if this is something that you want to dive deeper into, whether it is just how to come into my center, how to be present, or you're at the next level, wait, how do I create the reality? Because I've just had the most incredible synchronicities, and I love teaching this and guiding people and standing in their power. So this is something you want to dive deeper into. I'll see if I have spaces. You can contact me for a free clarity call, and we can go from there. I thank you so much for being here, and I'm wishing you a powerful week.